Hey folks, this is Gabe with Security.org, and today we're looking at an upgrade on the Amazon Echo Dot and our review of the Amazon Echo Dot with clock. In today's review of the Amazon Echo Dot with clock, we're going to go over some pros and cons, its design, its feature set, the installation process, the mobile app, and user experience before recapping by answering some common questions and recommending who this is for. If you'd like to see a list of our favorite smart assistant speakers, Google Security.org Best Smart Assistant Speakers. If you have a question about today's review, leave us a comment and I'll get back to you. Let's kick off today's review of the Amazon Echo Dot with clock by going over some pros and cons, beginning with the pros. Now, right off the bat, I have to talk about the fact that this device gives you access to the vast library of Amazon virtual assistant skills. Personally, I like to use it when I wake up, not only to ask what the weather is going to be like where I live in Brooklyn, but also where the rest of my family will be on that day. So I often say, what's the weather like in Nashville, Tennessee? How's the weather in Philadelphia? Just all over the globe. I like to know how people's days are going to look. On top of that, I just like looking at the display. I mean, that clock, you'd be surprised at the difference it actually makes. I actually use it to maybe keep me off my phone a little bit more. I can look at the clock here, not look at my phone to know what time it is, and it just gives you another option in your home for knowing what's going on. Finally, I have to talk about the auxiliary jack. The fact that we can plug this into an external speaker and really pump up the volume is really fun and just gives it a little bit more variety. Now, when it comes to cons, I did find that the Amazon Echo Dot with clock does have some difficulty hearing me when media is playing. What that means is that generally between 4 and 6, depending on the type of media, it could have difficulty understanding my commands. Now, all media is different. For podcasts, it will probably understand you maybe all the way up to 7. But for a little bit more dense music like rock or hip hop, it does seem to have a little bit more difficulty in understanding commands. Now that we've gone over the pros and cons of the Amazon Echo Dot with clock, let's talk about its design, beginning with that LED display. Now, it actually does make things a lot nicer. I really like the LED display, and not only does it function as a clock, but it also tells you your volume controls. So you can go look around. Now, of course, beyond just having it in the LED display, the top of the device lights up, kind of giving you an idea of how much volume is being used. I like the design of this in terms of its coloring, the sandstone gray with the fabric surrounding the device, make it look really nice. On the top of the device, you have volume controls up and down. You have your mic mute button and just the Amazon virtual assistant button itself. And each one, you'll note, it's coupled with its own microphone. So there's a 4 microphone array so it can really understand you. On the back, it's pretty simple. You got your power port and your 3.5mm auxiliary jack, so you can plug this into a larger speaker and really get that party rowdy. So that's a look at the design on the Amazon Echo Dot with clock. Well, hold on. I hope you're enjoying today's review of the Amazon Echo Dot with clock. If you want to be kept up to date on the newest in smart speakers, home security cameras, smart home security, and more, subscribe to our channel, Security.org. We're dropping new content weekly. All right, let's get back to the video. Now that we've gone over the pros and cons and the design on the Amazon Echo Dot clock, let's talk about its feature set, beginning with that lovely LED display. Now, this LED display, of course, gives you the time. It is the Amazon Dot with clock after all, but it can actually serve as a visual timer. If you set a timer for, let's say, a minute, you can actually see that countdown. And beyond that, if you want to see things like weather, you can actually ask it the weather and it will give you the degrees in Fahrenheit or Celsius, however you like it. Now, one thing I like about the LED display is the fact that it can adjust itself for the ambient lighting. So if you find yourself in a dark room, maybe you're trying to get some sleep, it'll adjust for that. Or if you find yourself in a super bright space, it will adjust for that as well to make sure that you can see it. The Amazon Echo Dot with clock is a smart speaker, so you want it to actually function well as a smart speaker in terms of the sound. And I actually think it does sound pretty good. I mean, it's a small package, but you get a nice round sound out of this device. So as you can hear, it's got a pretty solid round sound, even at 3 on the Amazon Echo Dot with clock. I can take it up to 5, you get a nice sound. Even 6. Take it down to 3. So you can hear that it's got a really solid sound quality on the Amazon Echo Dot with clock. Now, of course, this being an Amazon device, the Amazon Echo Dot clock is Amazon Virtual Assistant powered, which means you have that treasure trove of Amazon skills accessible to you. That means you can ask it any number of trivia questions, play games. You can even control all the elements of your smart home apparatus and all those integrations like your lights and your locks and even your home security system, all right here with the voice control enabled Amazon Echo Dot with clock. Another feature with the Amazon Echo Dot with clock is the ability to call other Amazon Echo device users without having to use your phone or anything of that nature. You can just call them directly. For example, I know every morning my mom gets up around 6, has a cup of coffee on the couch, and there's an Amazon Echo Dot right beside her. If I want to give her a call, I can simply do so directly through my Amazon Echo Dot, and we can have a nice conversation, and you can do that with anyone in the world. Now, the opposite of that is just having a little bit more privacy. Fortunately, you do have this mute mic button, and from here the device will no longer be listening to anything. It won't even hear its wake word. If you want to take it a step further, you can actually now go in and delete your voice recordings that it takes every time you ask it a question. Finally, if you're one of those people who misses that tactile feeling of snoozing your alarm clock, well, you can bring it back with the Amazon Echo Dot with clock. You can actually tap or hit the top of your Amazon Echo Dot with clock, and it will trigger that snooze alarm, giving you those extra few moments of sleep that you so desperately want. And that's a look at the feature set on the Amazon Echo Dot with clock. Now that we've gone over the feature set with the Amazon Echo Dot with clock, let's talk about the installation and mobile app experience. Now, when it comes to the installation, it could not have been easier. I have the Amazon Alexa app on my phone. Once I opened it and plugged in the Amazon Echo Dot with clock, it immediately recognized it and said, would you like to set up your Amazon Echo Dot? And I said, yes, I would. From there, it asked me the Wi-Fi password. I put the Wi-Fi password in, and then everything from there was just the customization of the settings on my Amazon Echo Dot with clock in terms of what groups I wanted to put it in, where it was located, and that's it. It was very straightforward, super simple installation process with the Amazon Echo Dot with clock. Now, when it comes to working in the mobile application, remember this is a voice controlled device, so most everything you're going to be doing with your voice. However, it is where you're going to want to add your new Amazon Alexa skills to the library so you can just do more things with your voice, pair Bluetooth devices, or even things like change the units of measurement that you use if you decide you want to go from Fahrenheit and miles to Celsius and kilometers. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of these actions on my iPhone 7 Plus. So here I am checking out the mobile application with the Amazon Echo Dot with clock. Now, the primary thing you're probably going to be doing with this mobile application is adding new skills. So let's just go ahead and say, I want to know when all the Premier League teams are playing. So I go to EPL. I think it's called Match Day. And here we go. Now I can ask my device for the matches of the day, which is always going to be very early in the morning on the weekends. So now I can enable the skill right here in the mobile application. And now anytime I ask this Amazon Echo Dot with clock, it's going to know exactly the answers that I want. But let's go ahead and look directly at the device itself. Now I've named it clock. And here you can see the audio, what the settings are. You can see what other wireless devices are connected to it, even the Wi-Fi network if I wanted to change it, along with connected devices like stereo or subwoofer. Now, what's really interesting is that you can decide if you want to have that snooze tap element added or not, along with the device's location. Of course, we're in New York. Even choose things like your wake word. If I wanted to change it from its current wake word to something like echo, I could do so right here in the application, along with just change the units of measurement. So if I want to go to Fahrenheit and miles, because I am American after all, that's what I'm going to use. So let's just look at some of the settings and elements you can change using the Amazon Echo Dot's mobile application. Now that we've gone over the mobile application with the Amazon Echo Dot with Clock, let's check out the user experience and actually start to get at some of these tactile and voice control functions that you get with a device like the Amazon Echo Dot with Clock. Here I am checking out the Amazon Echo Dot with Clock and just some of its many functions. Now you'll note that I'm actually using a wake word that isn't as common. I'm actually gonna use one a little bit less popular so I don't set off all your Amazon products in your home. Now if I wanted to listen to me, I can just say computer. And if I touch that mute mic button, you'll note that it'll stop listening to me and I get this really clear visual indicator that it is not listening to me at the moment. Now, if I want to go back to it, I can turn this off and I can actually turn the volume up and down this way, and you get a nice indicator not only here in the center, but also the top of it gives you this nice indicator of where you are in terms of sound. Now, if I want to ask it something like the weather, I'll get a nice LED display, and if I don't want to use the wake word, I can actually touch this button. What's the weather like today?
Right now in Brooklyn, it's 56 degrees Fahrenheit with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast has mostly sunny weather with a high of 59 degrees and a low of 48 degrees.
So that's pretty great. Got that nice LED display. And then I can also actually just set a visual timer. So I can say, computer, set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
So I like this visual element. If I had this in my eyesight, I could do things, know how much time I had or how long it had been taking me to do that thing. And I really find that particularly useful. But let's go ahead and cancel that. So I can say, computer, cancel timer.
1 minute timer canceled.
And then if I want to go ahead and set an alarm, I can do so using my voice. And what's fun is you get this nice tactile snooze capability. So I can say, computer, set an alarm for 11:49 a.m.
Alarm set for 11:49 a.m.
So now you can see the alarm's going off, and if I want to snooze it, I can simply tap the top of it. I get that old tactile feeling we used to get with our alarm clocks. Now, beyond those really clear functions, you can actually ask it any number of things. So I can say, computer, who won the Lakers game last night?
Last night the Lakers lost to the Raptors, 113-104. They'll play tomorrow at 9 p.m. away against the Suns.
Or I can say, computer, what movies are playing today?
Here are a few movies playing near you today. Joker, Terminator, Dark Fate, Doctor Sleep, Parasite, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and Harriet. Would you like to hear more movies?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Or I can do something a little more personal. I can control the various devices in my home. So I can say, computer, turn off main room light. So you'll note when I turned off the light, it also changed how this LED display looks. It has ambient sensors to let you know how bright it should, or let itself know how bright it should be. So if I turn that light back on, these LEDs will actually become brighter. So I say, computer, turn on main room light. And voila, now we can see it clearly once again. And then what's really fun with this device is the ability to just call any other Amazon Echo device anywhere in the world. So let's test it by calling myself. I'll just call another Amazon device I have here at Security Baron. So I can say, computer, call Security Baron Show.
Calling Security Baron Show.
Call from Gabriel Turner. It's Gabriel Turner.
Now what if I wanted to play some music? I can say, computer, play Vallis Alps.
Vallis Alps from Apple Music.
And I can use my voice to control the volume. So I could say, computer, turn it down a little bit. Or I can use it to end it. I can say, computer, turn off music. So that's a look at just some of the functions you get out of your tremendously capable Amazon Echo Dot with Clock. Now I want to answer some common questions about the Amazon Echo Dot with Clock, like, does it have a battery? No, the Amazon Echo Dot with Clock does not come with a battery. It is required to be plugged in with that AC adapter at all times. Second, does the Amazon Echo Dot come with Bluetooth? And yes, it is Bluetooth enabled. You can pair things like your phone directly to this device, even other speakers you can pair with the Amazon Echo Dot with Clock. Third question is, does it listen to your conversations? Well, the Amazon Echo Dot is kind of always listening to you. However, they state that they do not record anything until you use the wake word, be it Echo or Amazon or computer, and then it starts to register and record what you're saying. However, you can at any point go into your voice history and delete your recordings. All right, we've gone over a lot now with our Amazon Echo Dot with Clock, and you want to know, Gabe, who is this for? And honestly, who is it not for? It is not prohibitively expensive, coming in at under $60. With that, you get a nice LED display alarm clock, you get pretty solid sound quality from something with speakers this size, and you get that almost limitless Amazon virtual skill library, which ultimately makes your day more convenient and potentially productive. So personally, I'm impressed with this device and think it's a nice addition to anyone's smart home ecosystem. So that concludes our review of the Amazon Echo Dot with Clock. If you appreciate today's video, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. As always, this is Gabe with Security Baron. Be secure.